All right, first up, we have some Wendy, the Good Little Witch. We're going to start them off with the second issue ever made. This is Wendy, the Good Witch. The Good Little Witch, volume number 2. I'm going to show you the cover real quick just so you get an idea of it. We'll shine the light here and there to make sure you can see all the nooks and crannies. We're going to look for any kind of spinal ticking, that corner you can see right there, the other corner. So this one in particular has seen better days. It does have a number 7. I don't know why, but a number 7 written on that cover in what appears to be some pen. All of this is fixable if you choose to fix it, but mostly, this would probably go into your collection as a reader copy. We don't tell you how to collect, but I might suggest that to you. We're going to show you the back cover, the same treatment. We'll give it the wiggle jiggle there so the light shines everywhere and you can see any kind of flaws, discrepancies, imperfections, etc. And finally, we're going to open it up, show you the internal pages. Why do we do that? Well, that way you get a chance to see the quality and condition of the pages. Things like where those staples there are separating just a little bit. Before we move on to a few years later, this is Wendy the Good Little Witch number 33 from Harvey Comics. Again, we'll show you the same. You can see things like that crease up in the right-hand corner. And we do these in high definition, so you can always pause, zoom in, go back, go forward, see what you need to see. We'll do a quick overview right here in the video, but we want you to be able to see everything. You can also see the photos in the catalog at TheBigToyAuction.com. We'll show you the back cover as well. Give it that little jiggle with the white, with the light, so you can see the whiteness on this page, as well as quality and condition of this page. So again, we open it up so you can see the whiteness of it. That way you can judge for yourself. Is it cream? Is it off-white? Is it very white? Ah, look at this. Another reason we open these up is in case there is something like this. These pages have detached. They've come undone from the staples. We'll show them there, and you'll see those in the photo in the catalog as well. This is number 35, Wendy the Good Little Witch. We'll show you all around here. Some issues up in that top right corner, as you can see. We'll give it the wiggle jiggle on the light. Some issues on the staples. That's the big one right there, though, is that top corner. As we flip it over, and we'll show you the back. We're going to look for any kind of imperfections, flaws, etc. Again, we try to show you the white areas so you can judge for yourself. Is it white? Is it yellow? Is it cream? Is it off-white? For those of you that matters, well, now you know. Wendy the Good Little Witch, number 41 right here. Some issues along that side, of course. So it's beginning to yellow along the edges, as well as a little bit of creasing up there. You'll notice that a lot of these tend to be miscut. So you can see that approval stamp up in the top right isn't fully there. That's just a manufacturing defect from back in the day. Does that affect anything? Well, that's up to you. We flip it over on the back. Here's another page seems to be loose, and I'll show you that in one moment. Let's take a look at the quality and conditions of the pages. Yeah, you can see that right there. Unfortunately, that set of pages has come undone. That often means that there are some issues with the staples as well. We're moving on here to 43. Looking pretty good right there. They used a lot of these light muted pastels on their covers. You can see some issues in the corners. And again, we wiggle jiggle that light on it so you can really see any kind of creases or flaws or imperfections. We're going to show you some of the internal pages. Everything seems to be neat and tight. Oh, I am wrong. I am wrong. One more that has a page loose. The nice thing is it's not torn, at least it just came loose from the staples. We'll put that right back in there. We'll try to do our best to get it in there snug so that it doesn't fray around the edges. Not that it's going to have a lot of wear between now and the time it reaches you, but so again, a nice reader copy with that missing page. Not missing, but undone page. 56 here of Wendy the Good Witch. You see a little bit of Casper in there. It's always fun when they have the, and some Spooky. Always fun when they get that crossover going. You can see up around the edges and that corner, there's some wear there. Real obvious in the photos, but you can always zoom in and look further to your heart's content. I'll show you the quality and condition of a few of the interior pages just so you get an idea. That's going to do it for that one. This is 58. Wendy the Good Little Witch, number 58 from Harvey Comics. Some issues along here in the spine. You can see the corners. Point out the most major flaws. This one has seen better days. You can see where the light shines on it. All those little creasings. Can they be pressed out? Yes, I'm certain they could. Would you choose to do that? Well, I don't know. That's up to you as a collector. A little bit of wrinkling on the cover. Now, that type of wrinkling sometimes is indicative of water damage. So we'll take a look in the interior pages to see. And no, I don't see that. So it might have just been a little bit of moisture on the outside of the book, or perhaps just pressure. Moving on to Wendy, the Good Little Witch, number 59 right here. Nice yellow cover, really points out all the flaws. You can see any wrinkles on it, mostly up near the top. Again, the nature of those suggests to me there might be water damage, so we'll take a look at this back cover real quick. You can see some of that same kind of wrinkling up near the top. Very easily pressed out, assuming there is no water damage, and I'm not seeing any of that kind of brown pooling that you would expect from that. So luckily, I think we've avoided a catastrophe there. I don't see any signs of water damage, though you do see some pull on these staples. So those staples, be aware of that. There is some looseness about to happen right there. Wendy the Good Little Witch, number 61 right here. Again, you get some Casper. It's always fun when you have the Wendy and the Casper together. Childhood favorites all around. This one's not looking too bad. Given the age. I mean, this is from 1961, so we're looking at a 60-some-odd-year-old comic. We'll flip it over on the back here. It does have that stamp. A lot of times those are from newsstands. It would be an indication of when to remove it from the newsstand and put up the next one, especially since back then, the guy running the newsstand or the tobacco shop or whatever it was, it wasn't a reader themselves. They didn't necessarily know what was going on month to month. 64 right here, Wendy the Good Little Witch. At her cauldron. Oof, look at this cover there. We are not going to catalog all of the flaws on this one. It's obviously seen better days. Probably could use a nice pressing, even just an at-home pressing. Stick it between two books type deal would make that a world better. Heck, you order enough, if you win enough comic books, and we stack them together, it might take care of some of those issues. But we're not going to catalog each of those issues for you, as there's obviously quite a lot, which is a shame because the interiors here look real bright, real nice, shiny. That's going to do it for that one as we move on to the next one here. Wendy the Good Little Witch, number 64. Nice pink cover right there. The glaring issue is that one up in the right-hand corner, where you can see a little bit of curling at that corner. We'll show you the spine issues right there, and then flip it over. See again, just a imperfection right there, a crease at the bottom. We'll show you some of the interior pages, as we always do, just so you get an idea of the quality and condition of the interiors. We're moving on to Wendy the Good Little Witch, number 71. I want you to see that right-hand corner, top corner, and I want you to see this spine. There's obviously some issues going on right there, and you can take the time to go in and look for yourself. But I want to point them out right away since we're handling the comic book here. If you were in the catalog, or if you were in the studio with us, you'd pick these up and look yourself. You can see those creases on the back cover. You'd pick these up and look at them yourself. Since obviously you can't do that, being from who knows where in the country, and some of our international bidders as well, it makes it tough to fly in just to check these out, so we do the next best thing for you. 77, the Good Little Witch, Wendy, right here. This is not too bad. This is a nice looking one. Not a lot of damage to this cover. Again, from 1977, so close to 50 years, 45 years, certainly. And still doing pretty well. I like to think the same of myself. Going on 45 years and still doing okay. Interiors right here. Hope my interiors look as good. Yeah, not too shabby. Nice copy for the collection if you're looking to fill some holes. Before we move on to something a little bit more modern. Now this starts to look like the 80s. It is 78. Starts to look like those 80s comics that you would expect. Here she is with the campfire bluebird. Quite a few issues on this cover. It's been not a whole bunch of irreparable things. Mostly a good pressing could take care of that. But still, could be better. I'd like to see it better. I'd like to see all of these nice and tight. And we're moving on to the next Wendy right here. This has more of an animated cover on it. I kind of like that. Nice and shiny, looking pretty good. Not too bad from the 80s. Little issues right here in the corners. But overall, not a bad book at all. Show you the back real quick. Still nice and slick. For a 40-year-old book, that's kind of surprising. Has the slickness of a modern book, at least, in the cover. Not in the interior pages, of course, where they would use the old pulp, but there's the interiors. So that's going to do it. Head on over to TheBigToyAuction.com. You can see this and all the other ones waiting for you.